Hello and welcome. In this video you might find a smart man's tie, if you can grab one of those, and a rolled up towel or something that you can make this shape, and a blanket useful. I'm going to start by moving the arms to the breath. So as you inhale, lifting the arms, and as you exhale, lowering the arms. Keep going in your own time, matching the movement to the breath. If you wish, as you inhale, you can also come onto your toes and returning as you exhale. You may like to take the arms a little bit further with each inhalation, encouraging the breath to become a little bit longer, a little bit smoother, a little bit deeper. And as the breath becomes smooth and calm, the mind follows, becoming calm, becoming relaxed. I'm going to restrict the movement of the arms now just to shoulder height. Feet staying on the floor this time. And if you wish, as you lift the arms, also lift one knee. Swapping sides, bringing the thigh roughly parallel with the floor. Bit of tone, pelvic floor, abdominal muscles. And as you keep going in your own time, you may like to say this affirmation from Thich Naht Hanh. I am home. I am safe. In the here. In the now. I am strong. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. Returning to standing just for a moment or two. That's excellent. So pleased to see you joining in. We're going to come now onto hands and knees for cat posture. Beginning to move in your version of cat, matching to your breath, paying attention first to the tailbone and the pelvis. Feeling the tailbone lifting and dropping and tucking. Then become aware of the movement in the waist area, rounding to the ceiling and dipping to the floor. And then aware of the upper spine, rounding towards the ceiling, dipping towards the floor. Arms stay straight or straightish throughout. Then aware of head and neck, lengthening as you move through neutral cat, allowing head and neck to join in. Staying with cat a bit longer if you wish. When you've worked enough, folding into swan posture where the arms stay out in front, forehead towards the floor. Or you could make fists of the hands and rest the head on the fists or a block. If the head comfortably reaches the floor, you can rest the head there, hands by the ankles. Child. Could, as you rest here for a moment, use the affirmation, I am home. I am safe. In the here, in the now. I am strong. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. From child, coming onto your fronts for cobra. Lengthening the legs away, trunk of the body forward, tilt the pubic bone into the mat. Comfortable place for the hands. On an inhalation, lifting. On an exhalation, lowering. After a few moving cobras, you may like to come up and hold your cobra. You may like to repeat the affirmations in this cobra. When you use the arms in cobras, it's a lovely way to help develop your flexibility, to bend the spine backwards. But if you work with cobra with the arms by your sides, this is a nice way to develop strength in the muscles of the back. So squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the shoulders, the chest, the head, and as much of the body wants to lift. And it doesn't matter if nothing lifts off the floor, you're still working against gravity, developing strength in the muscles of the back. Again, if you're happy to hold, you can repeat the affirmation to yourself. Continuing with the theme of developing strength down the back of the body, return one hand on top of the other and just free one hand so the thumb is next to the little finger. You can rest the forehead on the remaining hand and then lift the hand, the elbow off the floor. This is gentler with a bent arm, stronger with a straight arm. You can take a couple of breaths in each side, swapping over sides when you're ready. Using that affirmation if you wish. And once more, doesn't matter if the arms lift or how much they lift. You're still working against gravity, building strength. From here, we bring the hands by the side of the chest, pushing up once more onto hands and knees. Take the bottom back into swan or child posture. Checking you're joining in, you're doing fantastically well. I'm going to put those into a little sequence now. So bottom back, hands forward, swan, breath there. Coming onto hands and knees for an up cat and a down cat. Return to neutral cat. Then bring the body forward and down to the mat for cobra. Pushing once more onto hands and knees and bottom back to swan. Into cat, up cat, down cat, neutral cat, to the floor for cobra. And back to swan. And once more. Up cat. Down cat. Neutral cat. Cobra. Swan. Resting for a moment. Doing very well. I'm going to do a posture now called crescent moon. This is a one-kneed kneeling posture, so don't do it if your knees don't like it. Blanket can be handy. Giving extra support to the knees. So, one knee and a lot of the shin on the blanket and the other foot forward. Hip distance apart and the length of the thigh forward. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the pelvic floor in with the abdominal muscles, lift the breastbone. Hands could be prayer position, could take the arms up further. Stay there if it suits you. If you'd like to go a bit further, tuck the tailbone, use the pelvic floor, the abdominal muscles, lift the breastbone, lift the chin, and maybe lean back. Breath or two there. An inhalation draws us up and lower the arms. Swapping over legs. Again, hip distance apart, thigh length forward. Tuck the tailbone, lift the pelvic floor, in with the abdominal muscles. Prayer position if you wish, staying there. If you'd like, you can take the hands further. Tuck the tailbone, engage the abdominal muscles, lift the breastbone, lift the chin, and maybe lean back. Breath or two there. Inhalation draws us up, releasing the arms, return to kneeling. Might like child posture now, or you might like to repeat on each side. You may like to work with the affirmations again for a few of your breaths. As we were working with cobra and lifting the front of the body off the floor, we were using the muscles of the back. We're going to work now with the muscles of the front of the body in a variation of boat posture. So come to lie on your back, and you might like the use of a yoga belt or a tie. And just to let you know, this doesn't work for everybody. It depends on the natural shape of your back. So most of us have a natural curve in the back of the waist. So when the knees are bent and the feet are flat on the floor, there's a bit of space underneath the lower back. And this varies between individuals. When you bring the knees towards the chest, this curve disappears, the pelvis tilts and the curve disappears. And we're going to use that phenomena to help develop our abdominal muscle strength. So taking your tie and slipping it under the arch of the back. If you have a particularly pronounced curve in your back, you might like the tie a little bit near your pelvis rather than the rib cage. And then as you draw the knees to the chest, you'll notice the back of the waist flattens to the mat, and if you pull quite strongly on the tie, it won't move. Only pull with one hand. It's cheating if you pull with both hands. And keeping gentle pressure on that tie as you take your knees away from you. Knees stay bent, but as the knees come away from you, you may find the back begins to arch, the pressure on the tie reduces, and the tie becomes free to move. And at that point you want to hold the knees where they are, but use the abdominal muscles to push the back into the mat, making it difficult for the tie to move now. Again, only using one hand on the tie. You could put the other hand on your tummy to feel those muscles engage. When the abdominal muscles get tired, you'll find the spine begins to arch once more and the tie becomes loose. If you get to the end of the tie, you can swap over sides. So the legs are acting as a lever that takes the pelvis that way, and it's the abdominal muscles that work as a lever to push the spine into the mat. And you can hold and breathe. Keep the head on the floor if you can. Don't be tempted to lift the head. It doesn't actually increase the work you're doing in this posture. As you're breathing, ensure you're not pushing down on the pelvic floor. So you might want to draw up and in with the pelvic floor on each exhalation. And this is the safest way I know to work the abdominal muscles because the back is supported on the floor. Keep smiling, keep breathing. When you've worked enough for you, releasing and doing anything you'd like to do. If your back would like a back bend, you might like bridge posture or a twist. Excellent. That's such a good way to build strength in the abdominal muscles, which is so good for preventing back issues. It's another way to work now to build strength in the abdominal muscles. A little bit stronger on the back, so with back issues, you might prefer to stay with the first version. So we're going to take the hands behind. Doesn't matter which way the hands face, just any comfortable place. Leaning back slightly so you're off the tailbone. Again, any issues here around the tailbone, this posture is not for you. Tailbone tucked under slightly, maybe bend the elbows slightly. Relax the face, engage the pelvic floor muscles, and maybe lifting one foot off the floor, have the shin parallel with the floor, and hold and breathe and smile and look happy. You can feel the work happening in the abdominal muscles. Breath or two there, swapping over sides. And if you're very happy, both legs at once. A release, have a wriggle. Repeating once more if you wish. One leg, other leg, both legs maybe. Releasing. And when you're ready, going to come up to standing for mountain posture. And as you come to standing, just doing anything you'd like to do, moving, wriggling. We'll come to mountain posture. Feet comfortably under the hips, parallel with each other, and swaying the weight backwards and forwards and left and right. Big toe side, little toe side. Gently reducing the swaying until you begin to feel a sense of being steady, aware of the feet and the floor beneath and the earth beneath, held, safe. You may like to say silently to yourself, I am home. I am safe. In the here, in the now. I am strong. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. We'll move now into heron, if you wish, just like we did at the beginning of the video, arms out wide, thigh parallel to the floor, foot relaxed, shoulders relaxed, arms stretching away. We'll just spend a few moments perhaps on one foot. Do use a chair or a wall to help balance if you need to, and swapping over sides. Again, just a few breaths here. If this becomes too strong for the arms, you could use prayer position or have the hands down by your sides. If you're happy to keep the arms up, this helps build strength in the arms, in the shoulders, in the back. Obviously, with all these standing postures, bit of tone pelvic floor, bit of tone abdominal muscles, and smiling. I'm going to work with a version of dancer now. I'm going to suggest we go into this one step on one side, return to centre, similar step on the other side, and so on. So we build into the posture. This way of working demands a huge amount of concentration. If you wish to stay at any step, that's absolutely fine. So standing steady, bringing your arms maybe wide, maybe prayer position. And pour the weight onto one foot. Peel the other heel. 10 toes on the floor and take a breath there. Returning to standing steady. Pour the weight to the other foot. Peel the other heel, 10 toes on the floor. Take a breath. Return to center, standing steady. Pouring the weight onto the first side, peeling the heel, lift the toes. Bring the thigh parallel to the floor. Take a breath. Return the toes, return the heel, standing steady. Other side now, pouring the weight, peeling the heel, lift the toes, thigh parallel to the floor. Take a breath. Return the toes, return the heel, standing steady. Pour the weight, peel the heel. Lift the toes, thigh parallel. Engage the pelvic floor, engage the abdominal muscles, and flex the ankle. And hold the ankle at 90 degrees. Take a breath. Return the toes, return the heel, standing steady. Pouring the weight, peeling the heel, lifting the knee, engage pelvic floor, abdominal muscles, flex the ankle. Hold steady, a breath there. Return the toes, return the heel, standing steady. Each of these movements is a posture in its own right, so stay at this stage if that suits you. If you'd like to go a bit further, pouring the weight, peeling the heel, lifting the toes, thigh parallel, engage pelvic floor, abdominal muscles, flex the ankle. I'm going to keep the thigh where it is now, but rotate the hip joint so the sole of the foot is headed off slightly to one side. Arms out, prayer position if you wish. Take a breath. Release the hip, return the toes, standing steady. Pouring the weight, peeling the heel, engage pelvic floor, abdominal muscles, lift the knee, flex the ankle, rotate the hip. Take a breath. Smile. Release the hip, return the toes, standing steady. There is one more step. When you're ready, pour the weight, peel the heel, lift the knee, engage the strength, flex the ankle, rotate the hip. Take a breath there. If you wish, bend the standing knee. Take a breath there, breastbone lifted. Straighten the leg, release the hip, return the foot, standing steady. That's excellent. Other side now. Pouring the weight, peel the heel, engage the strength, lift the knee, flex the ankle, rotate the hip. Take a breath. If you wish, bend the standing knee. Take a breath. Smile. Straighten the leg, release the hip, return the toes, standing steady. Breathing normally, Have a little break there if you want to twist, forward, bend, anything you like. There's hand positions and arm positions that also go with this version of dancer. So if you want to, bringing the hands into chin mudra, thumb and first finger touching, other fingers straight or straightish. We'll start with them in front of the heart center, making a circle so the rays from your heart, the loving rays from your heart, would shine through the circle. When we're in the posture, we take one hand up and turn the circle so the rays, the spiritual rays from the top of your head would shine through your circle and up into the sky. When you're ready, pouring the weight, peeling the heel, engage the strength. Bring the hands to chin mudra in front of the heart. Take a breath. Lift the knee, flex the ankle, rotate the hip. Lift the opposite hand to the leg above the head. Turn the palm to the ceiling. If you wish, bend the standing leg. Take a breath or several breaths there. Returning when you're ready. Dancer posture, that's marvellous. We'll do the other side. Pour the weight. Peel the heel. Engage the strength. Bring the hands to chin mudra in front of the heart. Lift the knee. Flex the ankle. Rotate the hip. Lifting the opposite hand above the head. Bend the standing knee. Take one or several breaths there. Releasing when you're ready. Give yourself a couple of claps. Proud of you all. Well done. Time now for a relaxation. This is where the rolled up towel comes in handy. So how big your towel is, how long it is, doesn't really matter. We want to bring the towel across the shoulders or between the shoulders. So between the shoulder blades, about here on the back. So depending on how long your towel is, we're going to keep it free of the bottom, and it may come onto the head or it may be shorter than the head. That's your choice. And we're just going to lie on the towel in this position. You may find it easier to put the towel on the floor first and then lie on it. And you may or may not like a cushion or a yoga block. So if you have the towel in the middle of your mat and place yourself in the middle of your mat, you're probably going to lie symmetrically on the tie. And you may like 2 or 3 goes just to get it exactly right. And you want to feel like the towel is right down the center of the spine. And you may like your arms down by your sides, palms face the ceiling, or you may like your hands resting on your tummy. You may like your legs bent, or you may like your legs straight. And just experimenting, finding a place that's right for you today. Notice the head and neck. Again, you may like that feeling of opening up of the front of the throat, or you may like a cushion or a block under your head. Just experimenting until you find a place that's right for you today. If at any time you feel uncomfortable lying on this rolled up towel, just roll over to one side and remove the towel and return back to lying on your back, flat on your back. And as you begin to relax now, closing your eyes or softening your gaze, notice each exhalation. And allow the exhalations to relax the body. And as the body relaxes, you can feel it softening into the areas of support. So as the back softens into your rolled up towel, you can feel the front of the body opening. The area around the heart center opening. A lovely posture to counteract all the forward bending we do in our daily lives. And you may like to repeat the affirmation to yourself. I am home. I am safe. In the here. In the now. I am strong. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. I am home. I am safe. In the here. In the now. I am strong. I am free. In the ultimate, I dwell. And staying for longer, relaxing if you want to. When you're ready to awaken, just rolling onto one side, removing the towel, returning to the back, and beginning to move hands and feet and arms and legs, head and face, having a stretch if you wish, hug the knees if you wish, a rock and a wriggle, deepen the inhalations, rolling onto one side and waiting for a moment, a breath or two there. And coming to sitting. That's the end of this session. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Shanti, peace.